I'm down here at Skull Harbour. I'm going to leave the car here and head on up to Mount Gabriel, which is that away. As you can see, it continues to be a bright sunny morning. Got my map, calibrated my altimeter, so I'm just going to have a quick coffee and then I'm ready for off. I finally left the road. I've been on paved road for the last say about a month. And the trail really starts for proper from this point. That's just it. It's at the end of this trail. Up through into the hills. It's very damp up here. I've already got wet feet just from the short climb from the house there through a bog. But as you can see, the views across the bay even at this point are lovely. I'm up about 300 meters now, and I think I've got another 150 meters to go. Unfortunately, the clouds seem to be coming in a bit, but nevertheless it's still clear and quite calm. We can see out there past Long Island and over into the Atlantic there a bit. Fastnet Rock. The sea's quite calm around. That's Skull Harbour. Over this way, Roaring Water Bay. Up there, two things. A radome on the top of Mount Gabriel, and also the sounds of industry. There's a bit of pile driving going on up there. Who knows what's happening? Maybe they're putting up another satellite dish. The thing that's amazed me is, despite the steepness of the ground and the climb around here, the ground is still very, very wet, and we seem to have like these rocky outcrops covered in heather and gorse, and then between them like tails of marshy grasses that run along kind of level, and they're really holding onto the water here. You see that there? That's very boggy. And across this, you're going to be seeing water just standing there on the ground. And it hasn't rained here for 5-6 days maybe. Down there, a small body of water. I think that my descent and return route will take me past that. I'll see that later. I've made it to the top of the ridge. However, I may be a little bit late weather-wise, because just as I came over the top of the ridge, there was a cloud shrouding the radome we see behind us. I might be lucky. Anyway, the views are still spectacular. Have a look at this. So there we're looking down towards the Mizzen. If I pan right, we see the end of Dunmanus Bay, and that's the end of the Sheep's Head, the other peninsula to the north of Dunmanus Bay. Looking southwest, we see Tormore, and then back across again, Skull. So that's Skull and Skull Harbour. So here on the hike, after squelching through a big marsh, find this small mountain lake. Wow, more like a pond. It's not very big at all. And it's so black. Black water. Maybe it's Guinness or Murphy's up here. Now we see one of the raydowns. So I'm almost there. And the clouds seem to have passed by for the moment. Although that sky isn't very clear at all, is it? Next stop, the top. I'm on the top of Mount Gabriel. It took me about an hour and 35, hour and 40 minutes to get here. But up here there's these two raydowns. There's also some construction work going on, and I've been told that I've been on private property and I had to be escorted from the place where I was between the raydowns over here to the trig point. Anyway, let's have a look around from here. So there's Skull Harbour. Mizzen, one of the raydowns. It's the end of Dunmanus Bay. Sheep's Head out there. Beyond that you can see the end of Bantry Bay. As we come round, see the mountains on the other side of Bantry Bay. Oh, it's Dunmanus Bay and Bantry Bay. Mercury Hill down there. Coming down the mountain is a lot tougher than I had expected. I'm not on any path now at all. I'm just making my way down across the rocks and the boggy tableland in between. I've happened across this little stream here. It's very lovely. And I'm planning to follow this stream down to a little body of water that we see just there, and hopefully from there, I think with the land flattening out, the going will get a bit easier too. Make my way back down to the head of the bay at Skull and then onto the town to about that. There's one of the golf balls on the top, and if we follow the power lines down, there's a little lake there. At least the ground has flattened out somewhat, but on the other hand that means it's become much more boggy. So I'm back to Skull, back down at the harbour, in fact at the end of the pier. It's taken me about just over 4 hours to hike up there and have a nice leisurely lunch up on top and then wend my way back again. I think, as I said, the coming down was a lot harder than I had expected, and certainly harder than going up. Nevertheless, the sun is still shining. It's a beautiful yet cold December afternoon. A good hike up Mount Gabriel, thoroughly recommended. And just looking up from the end of the harbour, way back up to the top there. Ah, that's where I was, yeah.